We actually did get an interesting question here from someone in the audience who actually brought up something that you and I were talking about before offline, before we got on the live stream here, about banks failing. And how is it relevant to just everyday normal Americans like us? Like if you're just a normal person, how does that actually affect you? I have some money in a checking savings account in a smaller bank, Ally and Charles Schwab. Not a large amount, less than 100 grand. Should I worry about this losing this money if these banks fail? I think this is a legitimate question from just a normal person perspective, because if we see more banks failing than we pretty much ever have in recent history, should I be worried about my own bank? And what do you say to that, Kelly?
No, you should not worry about your bank. I think we spoke a little bit about this on the AI circle last time. And what I remember saying, and it's still true, is that we have saw when the first three banks, First Republic, Signature, and of course Silicon Valley, they all failed. We saw the Fed bail them out. The FDIC, even though it didn't have the money, the Fed came to the rescue again and bailed them out. And they bailed out even people with much greater amounts of money than a $250,000 reserve. So right now, if you're under 250, of course you're protected by the FDIC. The government will never allow that to fail. But then again, there was many clients in all of those banks that had much more money than 250,000. They had tens of millions in these banks, and the Fed covered them as well. So no, you have nothing to worry about at Charles Schwab or even your local small bank. They will be bailed out. You may not have access to the money for a few days, but if you even look at the example of any of those three banks that I just mentioned, you'll see that those people got their money out within a week if they wanted it. So nothing to fear there. That I feel was, it's a scary thing when you see a bank fail. Banks shouldn't fail in a good economy, but we're in a good economy that has a lot of cash sloshing around of unspent COVID money, states trying to get rid of it because the federal government now may want to try to claw it back. So they're going to try to spend it or allocate it as much as possible. Prior to that, California already has. Of course, they have. So when you see this kind of behavior, the banks failing, yes, it's not going to hurt you, but it's still not a good sign overall that if you have such a good economy, why does a bank fail?
Yeah, exactly.
Why?
Yeah, the way that I look at that is that even banks who are run by humans, for now, maybe someday robots and AI will take over the banking industry. I don't know, but so long as banks are still run by humans, humans even at that level, at that institutional level, are not immune to poor decision making and poor risk management.
Precisely.
And getting complacent, getting lazy. These are all things that happen and can, at that level, even human emotions at that level can affect a huge domino effect for the rest of us.